Hi, this is Insights for You today. I began school by studying geography and environmental science. However, I was still in my first year when I changed my major to library and information science. My mom always wanted me to study geography and environmental science. She was a professor in geography and regional planning. Probably, she wanted me to be just like her. A lesson for you. Never study a course because of anyone. Be passionate about your study course or change it. It's never too late to change. I remember the first time one of my professors asked me a question on climate change. I can't quite remember what I replied, but I can never forget his crude response to my answer. You dumb ass. The sound from a ditch water sounds more intelligent than you are. The whole class erupted in laughter, and I ran out of the course in tears. I knew I wasn't a dumb ass. I wasn't particularly eager to study environmental science, that's all. I went into the library that day, not to read, but I wanted to be alone for a while. As I sat on one of the reading desks, I observed the librarian at the reference desk. She looked passionate about recommending information resources to help patrons with different types of information needs. Yes, I'd rather be like her than my professor, I thought aloud. Besides, I've always loved books as a little girl. I'll make a good librarian, I thought. That was how I changed my course study without my mom's consent. The teachers and students in Library and Information Science program attracted me, and each class was an affirmation that I was in the right place. Since my memory worked just marginally better than that of Mr. Bean, I felt elated, excited whenever I had a C grade. Generally, my evaluations to school mirrored my mentality towards learning. I battled through the necessary cataloging and classification classes, yet I figured out how to make an average grade in those courses. Tip number 1. Never settle for anything less than an A grade. An A grade is achievable. You have to work a little extra to make an A grade. This is your life. You've got to take it seriously. Don't play with your life. Life is priceless. In my second year, I met Matt. Matt was the most handsome man I had ever seen. I met him in the library one of the days I had gone to return a book I had borrowed. He was sitting with a headphone as he studied that day. He was listening to a song as his head waved in a rhyme. Yet, he looked engrossed in what he was reading. I found it rather strange, but I focused more on his handsome face. I wanted to be his friend instantly, so you can imagine the chills that went through my stomach when he noticed me and gave me a wink and a smile. Matt walked up to me and offered that we both went for a cup of coffee. Of course, I obliged him. I wasn't going to miss this opportunity of sitting close to my Prince Charming. Tip number 2. When studying, take a break. I learned this from Matt, and trust me, it works like magic. A few more dates, Matt and I knew that this is it. We're meant for each other. At least it lasted. Actually, my story from F grade to A grade began with Matt. I got to know that Matt was the most outstanding civil engineering student with a GPA of 4.95. Some of the study guides I learned from Matt today reshaped my life completely. Matt became my study partner. I tried to emulate his use of music to study. Man, it didn't work for me at all. The music always beclouded my understanding. I was like, this is too much for me to handle. Tip number 3. Use what works for you to study. You can put your study space together. Play a piece of music like Matt did, or just read alone in a quiet spot. Just make sure you're comfortable and have sufficient space for your notes, your textbooks, and other reading materials. You can make your own study guide. Matt always did that. Remember the way we learned characteristics of living things in high school those days? Mr. Niger D, like movement, respiration, nutrition, etc., etc. Coding worked excellently for me. I never forgot a single idea or point when I used codes while studying. You can decide to explain your answers to your course-mates. Just use whatever study method that works for you. With the right study method, your exams will be easier than you imagine. Tip number 4. Plan your exam day by going through past questions. Past questions would help you to know the type of problems to expect and your strengths and weaknesses. Studying past questions will definitely make you focus right. But tip number 5, believe. Believe in yourself. Believe you can do it. Trust in your creator. This will definitely help you. These tips turned me to an A-grade student. At the end of my second year, my grades dramatically improved. I graduated as the best graduating student in my department. Yeah. Suppose I had known these tips earlier, I would have been the best graduating student in my faculty. Well, time and chance happen to us all. Alright, intellects, thanks for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Kindly subscribe for more videos just like this. See you next week. Love you. Bye.